Today we're going to be talking about 7 ways to measure financial performance. You'll probably see lots of lists if you go and Google this or research this on many different things that you can do to measure financial performance. Today I'm going to be talking about 7. The first one is profit. What's the profit that's coming into the company? It's simple to a lot of times to say, oh, we made $5,000 today. But when we look at profit, we have to look a little more in depth. And we look at things like what it cost us, who did we pay out, and other items like that to get an actual true net value of what we're looking at. So profit is one of the first things you can look at when measuring financial performance of your company. The next is cash flow. Cash flow is really important. What's coming in, what's going out, and the goal is to have a positive cash flow at the end of the day, end of the month, or end of the year versus a negative one. Number 3 is balance sheet strength. How is your balance sheet? For example, you want to have more assets and fewer liabilities. If it's reversed, where you have more liabilities and fewer assets, you're going to have a very weak balance sheet, and we don't want that. So assess your balance sheet. Where are your liabilities? Where are your assets? And how are they looking? The next is risk. With any company, there is a good amount of risk that happens. And so you have to look at that. Do you have clients who aren't paying their bills? This happens often to many businesses, including mine. How do you deal with that risk? Do you have people that are working for you that aren't doing your jobs? And how's that affecting you? Are projects not getting done? And of course, if money flow isn't coming in, are you not paying on the bills that you have? So there's several different risks to a company. So it's important when you're looking at the financial performance also to look at the risk. This affects it. Next is the owner's time invested. We all know as entrepreneurs that when we start to invest in building our own company, we'll probably never get paid back all the money for all the time that we put in. But what we do want to look at is the owner and the time they're currently putting in. And is that time resulting in a profit? Is money coming in where they're saying it's worth it, the amount of time that I'm putting in for the amount of money I'm making? So this is another way to look at the financial performance of the company. And this is very important, obviously, to the owner of the company. Next is the valuation of your company. What's the fair market value? How are you assessing against other companies? Is your company a desirable company that someone would want to buy from you? It's important to think about these things, not because maybe you're wanting to sell your business, but how is your company rating? And if it's not rating well, what can you do to get it to rate up there? And finally, the last one is the business owner's net worth. Whenever a business owner is owning a business, small or large, we want to look at their net worth. What is it at the end of the day that they're worth, that the company has brought in? Businesses are made to create worth and wealth for business owners. So it's important as well that you look at this aspect of it, and important as well from the owner's perspective, what their net worth is. When they're done with the company, what are they able to sell it for, and what would their net worth be? So those are 7 areas of financial measurement that you can take a look at for your company. It's important as a leader to know and understand these various areas and be able to implement changes when needed when you see certain areas are struggling.